First of all, congratulations on this project. It is such an incredible watch. Let's start off with the concept for the story. How did this concept come to you? Why did you want to tell a story like this?
So it came quite a strange way around, really. So basically, in the end of the film, there's quite a dramatic moment where a woman's been attacked
Hmm.
and somebody intervenes. And this came about because this actually happened to me in real life, where I was going home at like 1, 2 in the morning in East London, and then I heard screaming, and then I approached the person, and this woman had all blood all over her face, and she'd been attacked. I never saw who did it, but then when I was trying to help her, police arrived and they put me in handcuffs, assuming I was involved in the attack. So with that, I wanted to put that into film. So I wrote the scene, and then I thought, what if this had happened to somebody like my brother who has autism?
Hmm.
So then I started to write sort of from his life experience to sort of get to that moment of that big event. And that's how it came out.
Awesome. There's a lot of things going on in this film. And autism is just one aspect of this character. What is it about first of all autism that you wanted to include that and how do you compact so much that's going on into such a short amount of time?
So I wanted to sort of show what life as an adult with autism is like, just day to day. In films before, say for example, the film Rain Man, they portray autism as almost like a special ability,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't. And often autism is referred to as a superpower, and I wanted to sort of explore that and what it is to have a superpower. Really, it's somebody that acts when there's a situation going on. To be a hero is because you respond. So I wanted to explore that area and also sort of show just day-to-day life. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, with being on the spectrum, just the daily challenges where and give a new perspective for people to understand who maybe have never because sometimes, for example, if you say to somebody you've never met before that my brother has autism, they kind of feel sorry for me as if
Mm-hmm.
like it's a really bad thing. But that's probably because they probably think, oh, he's possibly non-verbal, which is obviously very high up on the spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
where most people on the spectrum just have um, different challenges within their day-to-day life. For
Mm-hmm.
example, in the film, there's a very simple scene which you wouldn't necessarily see in most movies, where the guy just goes to buy a pint of
Mm-hmm.
milk, and we see that struggle with that. And that scene is just what's resonant seems to resonate with a lot of people who have autism. We've had a lot of really positive comments on the film
Mm-hmm.
on the YouTube channel where people say like this is resonates with me so well because this is just a daily challenge that is not seen by people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been really nice to hear that.
Mm-hmm. Uh, the way this is presented is such a fantastic way. It's very well done. When getting this produced, was there any challenges or obstacles that you had to overcome in order to get not just, the locations, but your actors and for everything to just come together the way it did?
Yeah, I suppose because when I wrote the film, and like if anybody knows that's ever made a film, or you might have many ideas of what films you might want to make next, but then you have to fully commit to the idea, you know, because it could take like this took about 8 months to shoot because we did one shoot day a month, even though it was over eight. It was 8 days to shoot it, but we did it over 8 months, one day per month. So it's a huge commitment to sort of spend your time doing that, and also financially, it's self-funded, so you have to really commit to it, you know,
Hmm.
which kind of put me in a weird position because I wrote the story really wanting to do it, but I hadn't approached Steve, my brother, to be in the film at this point, and he's never acted before. So it's kind of if you say to someone who's never acted, "Do you want to be the lead in this film and in every single scene?" It's quite a thing to take on, right?
Hmm.
So with that, once he agreed to it, it was like, okay, we're doing this now. But then it was really important also to have the other people that are on the spectrum within the film,
Mhm.
they're also non-actors. They are Steve's real life friends in real life. So with that, it was the challenge was getting them to trust that we're going to make a film that's not taking advantage of them. You know, it's something that we're all making together, and we're going to have like a really good, honest piece of work at the end. And so that was a challenge, but everybody, most people that we approached to be in it was excited about, you know, and especially once you get on set and you're making a movie together,
Mhm.
you know, like it's just it's just so much fun. You know what I mean? Once people get over the nerves of that, then it was plain sailing.
Mhm. That scene, the support group is one of the most impactful scenes in the movie. Um, what is it like to get people on the spectrum and ask them to be that vulnerable to create such a powerful scene?
So within that scene, well, actually, all the scenes, all of the actors who are the non-actors, they never read any of the script.
Mhm.
The way we would work would be we would turn up on the day to do, say, 3 scenes a day, but we would have a premise of the scene, and then
Mhm.
I'll give them a few lines of dialogue. But it'd be said in a vague way, like, "Oh, you need to um, get this point across in this scene. You need to do this in this scene. Oh, you need to get this point across." And then we would let them play with it, and then we'll just roll camera. We would roll 2 cameras all the time, and then we'll just once we do a couple of takes, we'll lean into what they give to the table. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, that's an interesting angle. You're going down here. Let's go to that further. Or if they start speaking about something that's taken away from the plot, then we'll bring it back. We'll draw it back in and be like, oh, actually, could you lean more into talking about this subject in this
Mhm.
moment? Because then they'll just start flowing from there. And also, how we run the support group for that, for go back to your question for that scene, is we run it as a real support group. So we had the people who are on the spectrum sit down in their seats, and then we had the actress who played the support worker run it as if she was just the support worker asking those questions for that session, because
Mhm.
then that's when we just got honest answers. And then we just sometimes we brought it back to where we needed the story to be because we wanted it to like for example, there's a character that says his favorite superhero is the Joker, who's obviously a
Mhm.
villain, and then there's a little sort of argument with the lead saying, why would you want to be a villain, you know? So with that, we sort of staged that to be like, okay, guys, just have argue. Steve, you're on this side, you're the good guy, you're the bad guy, and you're just making this argument, this point.
Mhm.
And then we just leaned in to what they said to sort of give an authentic answer,
Mhm.
which is a really interesting way of doing things for that moment. Because with that scene, I could probably cut together it'll feel like a documentary because there were questions sort of asked that were never used within the film because we couldn't get everything in. We sort of
Mhm.
just used the ones we felt worked. But I could probably cut that together as a piece of everybody's
Mhm.
truth, if you like, which would be also interesting.
That is extremely fascinating. That's a very impressive way to conduct that scene. Um, for you, when people watch this, what reactions do you hope you get from it? What are you hoping people take away?
It's interesting because I hope people take away different things because people that are on the spectrum or know someone on the spectrum take away those sort of subtleties of just the challenges that
Mhm.
they face daily. But then other people have said, oh, I don't see it as an autism story. I see it as a story about family and
Mhm.
support within family units and like people see it as a single parent
Mhm.
story as well because the parent seemingly um, is bringing up this adult of autism on her own. There's superhero people refer to the superhero element and all the reference points of just sort of Marvel stories. You know, people
Mhm.
like that aspect of it. So I like people to sort of take away many different things depending on who they are and what they enjoy from the film,
Mhm.
which is always great. We watched it recently at a film festival, and then watching it with strangers, and then when they speak to you after, they
Mhm.
all have a different. They seem to all take something away from it, just slightly differently, which is also the moments with the police as well. People take away from
Mhm.
as they might have experienced something similar with that part of the story. So that's what's the most exciting bit about now allowing people to watch it is
Mhm.
seeing what people respond to, you know, which is great.
What is the feeling you get when you watch it with an audience at a film festival? How do you, how are you taking that in? I'm sure it's been had
It's
such a
a
great response.
it's a strange feeling really because it's kind of you're just sort of nervous really because you're hoping certain little funny moments land as
Hmm.
people might laugh, or you want people to feel. It's like being a conductor, you know. You hope people laugh in the right moments,
Hmm.
feel tense in the right moments, and you just hope it ain't the other way around. You hope they respond to what's meant to be the the highs and the lows. And so far, I think it's landing where we hope it does. And also some bits people um, respond to better than you'd ever think. You know, like
Hmm.
you said, the shop scene. Most people wouldn't put a guy buying a pint of milk in a movie,
Hmm.
but people really respond to those moments, which is great to see.
Definitely. With the way you went about filming this, is there any behind the scenes that you're willing to share on your YouTube channel in order for people to see the process that this movie went through? Because it seems fascinating to me the way you went about shooting it.
Sadly, we don't because the crew was literally myself and my best friend from school, who
Hmm.
I've known since like I was 11. And we always shoot together because that's what we do for our general jobs as well.
Hmm.
But we did this deliberately. One, because financially I paid for it for myself, so it was just us working on it for free. And secondly, working with my brother and mum, the mum in the film is also our real mum. So
Hmm.
working with these non-actors, we didn't want it to feel intimidating with loads of strangers coming into the house
Hmm.
and all the lights on and stuff. So we lit it ourselves, we did the sound ourselves, and we shot it ourselves. Like I said, we shot on two cameras. So I'll be shooting, my friend will be shooting, and we did that to keep it that comfortability, you know.
Hmm.
Um, But so there is no sort of behind the scenes because there was
Hmm.
no one to ever even I don't even have any like behind the scenes photos or anything
Hmm.
because if we're there, we were basically shooting, do you know what I mean? Which is a shame because now we look back, it would have been nice to have just even some photos of
Hmm.
just how we pushed it together, you know?
Definitely. Well, congratulations on this project. I thought it was a fantastic view, very impactful story, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it.